care. Okay, let's look at Terrence Popp. This is the guy that did the Chud math that we were looking at. Let's see what his most popular videos are. 15 lies single moms tell. Ew. Where all the good men went. Oh, all these look so bad. Let's do Rise of the Sex Robots, because we talked about sex robots the other day, and I don't know. It's the kind of thing these people like to bring up, and it's very funny to me. Oh, look, he's drunk. It's a joke, except not really, because he really is going to be drunk in this video, I bet.
Looking for some nighttime reading for your fat beer-swilling dyslexic ass? Click on the links in the description.
That fucking Castlevania music? Castlevania 2?
Just Reconnaissance Man and other books by Aaron Clary. You'll sleep like a baby.
Thank you, Major Dub, for subscribing with Prime. I appreciate that.
Hello everybody, Terrence Pop, Darklist.com. And Bad Pop came forward because he's got something to say to you feminists out there. Sex robots are here, and they're here to stay.
I always find it so weird when these guys are like, haha, feminists. Now there are sex robots. Now we won't have sex with you. Like, dude, we didn't want to fuck you in the first place. It's fine. Please enjoy your love doll. Just stay away from us. Jesus Christ.
I know you don't like it. In fact, you bitches don't like anything. Women, in general, do not like the idea of a man spending his own money on himself. And why is that, you say? They're entitled bitches, that's why.
Holy shit. This guy is legit like the embodiment of some drunk asshole who thinks that his wife is just like a servant who's like half mom and half sex slave that should take care of his adult man baby ass, and like she wises up and divorces him at some point and takes half the shit because that's how divorce works in a lot of places in this country, and he just gets bitter and angry and shows up to Thanksgiving dinner late and drunk and rambling about the last thing he saw on The Blaze or Fox News. Like, there are so many choices as to what personality you could have in your life, and you choose to be this. It's very sad. Daddy Sume with 10 bits says if Johnny Bravo never had any emotional growth and turned 45. Even Johnny Bravo, in the episode where he turned into a lady, learned something, right? Anyway.
Why? Instead of admitting that up front, which would be honest, they're making the whole thing about sexism and rape. That's a big shocker, and I have a question for you. How much shit do you expect men to keep swallowing? I'm just gonna come out and say it, and you can say whatever you want.
Dude, no one cares if you want to get a love doll. Get a love doll, use it all you want. I don't care if you get that. I don't care if you get a flashlight. I don't care. Get whatever sex toys you want. Do not care.
Swallowing is your job, so let us...
Jesus Christ. You know what I hate? Two things I hate are people who make weed their personality and wear nothing but, you know, pot leaf clothes, and they constantly reek of it, and they talk about nothing but weed. And next to that, on an even level, are people who make being an alcoholic their entire personality. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had substance abuse issues in the past, which I still deal with. Luckily, Baja Blast is really great, and I have my drinking under control. But obviously, I've had problems in the past. Some of you probably saw that on YouTube. Remember that time we did the Ray Comfort movie review and I got super drunk afterward? Anyway, even at my worst, being drunk was not my entire personality. I was not like, oh, gotta get a beer and gonna hang out. Just gonna get some suds and hang with the buds. Like, no. This shit, obnoxious. Having a drink casually is fine. Do what you're gonna do. But, like, this shit, nope.
Let's begin. Yeah. Today we have an article from my favorite target practice, The Guardian. Between Valente, Proudman, and this bitch, do you actually have a real journalist that works there?
People are blowing
Do you think that they're not journalists because they're women? Because that's kind of what it sounds like you're saying.
a fuse about sex robots, or rather, rape robots.
All right, I got a little question for you. How in the fuck do you rape a robot which is actually built for sex?
I think what they're trying to say is that there are certain people who would use the sex toy to simulate that by binding the robot and carrying out a fantasy. Now, there's going to be different schools of thought on this. I think I fall on the side of, like, it's a sex toy. I really can't dictate what you do with it. It sounds gross to me, but hey, if that's your kink, as long as you're the only consenting adult there, or even if you involve another consenting adult and, like, are doing it safely with a safe word, I can't say there's anything wrong with this. However, there are also people who are going to be of the school of thought that, hey, this is going to teach people to enjoy that activity and try and escalate that fake non-consensuality into reality. But, like, I'm not on that page specifically because people do engage with, like, RAPE fantasy, which not appealing to me. But if that's, like, something two consenting adults want to do with each other, not really my business, as long as they're doing it safely.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Why don't you lube up your asshole, because this is gonna hurt. If you actually think robot rape is a thing, take your vibrators and throw them all away. Because if not, you're a robot rapist. In fact, you probably have 6 of them in your dishwasher. And I bet Jenny Kleeman, who wrote this goddamn article, who's a cunt, has at least 12. And she probably uses them all at the same time, if you know what I mean. She's practicing being the hub in the dick salad, just saying.
Why does he have to call people sluts when they're trying to get their opinion across? What the fuck does this have to do with her being a supposed slut? And who would care? Who the fuck would care? I already said you can fuck a sex doll if you want, dude. Why are you judging other people for...
Oh man, they're pathetic because they fuck machines, right?
Journalists from the New Statesman and the New York Times, among others, have all reported on the sex robot Roxy, True Companion's controversial frigid Farah setting, a mode in which she has been programmed to resist sexual advances and which will allow men to act out rape fantasies.
Heaven forbid that somebody actually gets a healthy outlet for unhealthy urges. Because let me ask you this. Would you rather have him fuck the robot or your daughter?
Women's Rights Act.
Are those the only two options? What the fuck? Did you... what do I fucking say to that shit? That's a nightmare.
Activists
Aren't they called feminists?
have lined up to condemn Roxy. Everyday Sexism Laura Bates describes her as the sex robot that's yours to rape for just $9,995.
First of all, that's a lot of money. And if you actually pay for that, you're an idiot. But you're still not as dumb as Laura Bates.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Writing in the Times on Thursday, the barrister Kate Parker called for sex robots like Roxy to be criminalized.
Okay, as long as they drop legislation against vibrators. Because we're all about equality, aren't we?
The sophistication of the technology behind Roxy marks a step forward for robotics. For human society, it's an unquestionable regression, she said.
Prince of Otto says, I love how the article takes no stance so far and is just repeating other articles, and he's still so angry. Yeah. Yep. After this, we'll do a cleanse, because this is, like, real
but
bad.
the sex robots made for women with their bionic dongs, they're okay, right? No, I'm serious. Look it up. They're fucking hypocrites.
There's a problem with this story.
Are you literally implying that every feminist, and feminists have a variety of schools of thought and different opinions, you're talking about two different people and implying that they are the same person and therefore hypocrites for having opposing views? It's almost like women are not a homogenous group of people and have different opinions. What a shock. I thought almost 4 billion people on this planet were all just the same person. Weird.
The robot doesn't exist. Douglas Hines, the man behind Roxy True Companion, has been drumming up publicity for his creation ever since he unveiled her to the public at the 2010 AVN Adult Entertainment Expo in Las Vegas.
So what you're saying is this whole thing is a scam like the Dale. You remember that car that was supposed to get 70 miles to the gallon and they never even built a fucking one of them? That person wasted a lot of people's time and money. Got it. But I have to ask, and this is actually a point of logic here, why are you throwing so much of a hissy fit over something that doesn't even exist?
Are you fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Probably because it scares the shit out of you and it takes away your vag power.
Okay, let me be very clear on this. No. If someone has a criticism of sex dolls as some sort of promotion of rape culture, that's their opinion. That's completely fine. I don't necessarily entirely agree with it, at least in the implementation, because I don't think it's right to stop people from owning sex toys as long as, you know, there's nothing inherently non-consensual about them. I don't even know what that would entail in terms of a sex toy. But that's an opinion someone has. It's not because they're afraid that they're going to somehow lose power over you, because frankly, again, you are not the kind of person that person would want to be with anyway, because you're not just like some random dude. You are a crazy, misogynistic weirdo who screams about women on the internet. So they're not into you in the first place. They have concerns about how these things might promote rape culture. And again, I'm not necessarily on the same page as this person. However, they have an opinion that they are voicing, and you're not even addressing the reasons that they feel this way. You're just saying ridiculous straw man arguments like, oh, you're just afraid you're not going to have power over us. What? What are you talking about? Why did she have power over you in the first place? You two are clearly not compatible individuals, so why would it matter?
This power breaks men down, brings them to their knees, and while they're down there, you ram a straw into their back and you drink their ever-loving soul. Heaven forbid something comes along that gives men a healthy alternative to that goddamn existence.
Even though his website pulsates with throbbing Order Her Now buttons, no journalist has seen or photographed Roxy since 2010, and no one in the surprisingly extensive robot enthusiast community has ever reported owning one.
Why are you writing this article? Why are you wasting your time and mine? This is stupid.
I tried to
You're literally making a video about it, so if they're wasting your time, you're wasting mine time, and I'm wasting these people's time. So, welcome to the internet. We're all wasting each other's time.
meet Hines in person many times over the past year while researching a documentary and article on sex robots, and although he was happy to talk over the phone, he avoided meeting me when I asked to see Roxy in the flesh.
Because that's what a rational man would want. He'd want angry feminists to know where he fucking lives and works. So, he might be a con artist. But on the other hand, he might just be smart.
I was way off.
But while
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you to Daddy Sume for 10 bits, says, life is a waste of time until death. That's literally all life is. Yeah.
while Roxy might not be available to buy, models like her will be very soon.
That's why you're pissed. Your pussy power really is in danger.
First of all, gross. Second of all, love dolls have existed and continue to exist and have for quite a while. You're not getting a sex robot, though. That would require, like, not even necessarily a general AI, but you'd need an AI that was quite, particular in order to make it, like, a sex robot that behaves like a human being.
Abyss Creations are due to ship the first talking anima-
I'll put this out there. You getting a lifelike talking sex robot is about the same likelihood as Elon Musk getting his promised 1 million robo-taxis on the road by the end of the year. About equal likelihood.
animatronic AI-enabled heads for their hyper-realistic silicone sex dolls by the end of the year.
They just selling the heads? That's real weird. We're gonna carry it around a bowling bag or something? That's creepy. What are you gonna do? Take it to work and put it under your desk?
Yeah, Terrence, I need to talk to you about those TPS reports that...
What?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You show up someplace with a robot head and a bowling bag, you're not just getting one creepy point, you're getting them all. Check out the episode.
Was that a fucking meme he tried to do?
You're
Hold
not
on.
just getting one creepy point, you're getting them all.
Oh no, look at that awful meme. It says, the creepy factor, stay at arm's length away from this man, and then it's him with thumbs up and then his website. Holy shit. That's the worst meme I think I've ever fucking seen. Jesus Christ. It doesn't even follow any normal meme format. It's just like a... What?
Oh, check out the episode. But I do have to say, Abyss Creations, winning. This shit is hilarious. We know what Abyss you're talking about. The golden Bermuda Triangle under 8 Mile between your legs, where dignity goes to die.
I have a larger than average vagina.
And while the sex robots on offer from China and Japan may currently have more in common with push-button talking baby dolls than Ava from Ex Machina, there's commercial pressure to get sophisticated models with AI on sale as soon as possible.
So what? And you're not going to be able to stop it with a bunch of bitch brain articles like this?
Dude, obviously, if there are sex robots, they're gonna be a thing. Why did you make an 18-minute video about this? Just because some activist somewhere was voicing their concerns. That's fine. People are free to voice their concerns. You're free to disregard them if you disagree. This is part of it.
And you want to know why? Simple economics. Supply and demand. As long as men are the target demographic, it's on like Donkey Kong and you're gonna fucking lose.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
You're gonna see a lot of dudes take the red pill and probably go MGTOW after this doll comes out.
If you are the kind of person that the only value you see in a relationship with another human being of the opposite sex, and if you, or the same sex, I suppose, if you are a human being that views a relationship with another person as only a means to an end to get to sex, and you do not care about that person at all, then by all means, please buy these dolls and go and live in your house and just fuck it all day and night until you're dehydrated. I do not care. It will be better because you won't be leading someone on who deserves someone who doesn't treat them like a hole to stick things in. Jesus Christ. All these MGTOW gross weirdos being like, you're gonna miss us when we're gone. No. No, we won't. Please, by all means, exit stage left immediately.
Just saying. And you want to know why? It's a lot easier to save up 10 grand when you don't have to waste it on some ungrateful hooer.
Yeah!
The sex industry is worth $30 billion a year, and with 2/3 of heterosexual men in a recent survey saying they could imagine buying a sex robot for themselves, the race is on to make the fantasy a reality. But before sex robots hit the market, we have the space to ask whether they should.
I can see your tricks here, bitch. You're trying to bring this down to a moral argument. But
yeah, moral arguments get brought up with literally everything. Let's go back to the same Tesla robotaxis. Anytime I see a robotaxi article anywhere on the internet from a mainstream media outlet, let's say, like CNN, fucking Pathos, who cares, you know, wherever, anywhere, you have an article about Tesla robotaxis. Of course, there's a little blurb where they go, because this is how, you know how articles work. They're like, okay, we'll start out with some information on what's going on. We'll start with some context so people get it. And then you get to the opinion parts. Well, some people say yada, 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 yada. So while other people say this, and that. In Tesla's case, you'll get people say, with many people concerned, the automated taxi service raises concerns about pedestrian safety. Such and such from the American Automobile Association had this to say, and then they provide a quote. That's what journalism is. It's reporting on facts and then often getting opinions from people in various fields to get a sense of how people feel about this stuff. You don't have to feel one way or another about it. It's just how reporting works. See, most people who are journalists do this thing where they sit in front of a computer and write a story with sources instead of standing in front of a camera and getting drunk. I know that's maybe a foreign concept for you, but maybe look into it.
But you can't. Economics doesn't give a shit about morality, and it never has. Sorry.
I agree. At least he and I agree that capitalism is the bane of moral citizens everywhere.
There's a $30 billion demand for this kind of shit. All of your whining, moaning, and complaining is gonna fall on deaf, rich ears.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Lloyd.
The issue with sex robots in general, not just hypothetical ones programmed to have a resist function, is how their existence will affect how human beings interact with each other.
All right, I'll make you a deal. I'll get rid of the sex robot when you dump your smartphone, you stupid bitch.
Again, just like weird derogatory insults. But also, dude, she's not talking about sex robots in general. She very specifically there was talking about some sort of hypothetical setting on a sex robot that would force it to act as though it is struggling against you assaulting it. That's what she's talking about. She's not talking about some sort of theoretical, and again, we're talking about shit that's not going to exist within our lifetimes. Some sort of sex robot with, like, AI that behaves in certain ways and making sure that it doesn't promote rape. I don't get what you don't get about it.
You want to talk about a piece of technology that fucks up human interaction? That is it. Oh, look at that. You just posted...
Oh, look, another fucking boomer opinion from him, too. Phone's bad.
A tweet from Starbucks on your iPhone while you're drinking uniform cum out of a fucking styrofoam cup. But hey, you gotta kill 15 minutes while your vibrator's from the dishwasher, right?
People don't put vibrators in the dishwasher. You get sex toy cleaner at the sex toy shop. You spritz it down and disinfect it. Jesus Christ.
Sex robots are different from sex dolls and sex toys because they have AI.
Oh, there you go. Trying to take the moral high ground. Fuck you.
Again, if a sex robot literally had true AI, not this, like, machine learning bullshit AI, then yeah, it would be an issue if they were sapient or sentient, but that's not something, again, that's going to happen within our lifetimes. So it's not a concern. Anyone who claims, and this includes people like Elon Musk, I've been talking about Elon Musk a lot in this video, but, like, who's like, oh, AI is so dangerous. We're not getting true AI that's sapient and sentient within the next 100, 200 years. Don't worry about it.
My vibrator isn't as bad as your sex robot. Yes, it is. Fuck off.
It's the same goddamn thing. It's a robotic device built for pleasure. And real AI doesn't exist yet.
I agree with that. I do think the woman who's writing this maybe has a misconception about exactly what AI is in these sex robots and doesn't understand that it's like it's not a sapient thing. I don't know.
Because if it did, didn't you watch...
I'd have to read the full article. I don't know if he doesn't even link to the article. Genius.
Terminator, we'd all be bombed to smithereens by now. Because we fucking deserve it. Space Ghost. This is a typical feminist response.
It's okay when I do it, but it's not good for you to do it.
How do you explain this hypocrisy? You got feminists jacking off the robot's cock while he's on the assembly line, but no, this is bad. We can't have that.
If men, and it will be men, even the few male sex dolls produced by Abyss Creations every year are generally shipped to male customers.
Fuck you, because right out of the gate you're trying to demonize men. Women are gonna buy this shit too, and you fucking know it. Shut up.
I would imagine that many people would buy these things. I think it's a bit expensive in terms of a sex toy, but I'm sure plenty of people will buy them, both men and women. Who cares?
Become used to having sex with synthetic companions that are programmed to meet their most...
Thank you to Dudes Banking Dudes with 1 bit. Bold of you to assume Earth will live long enough to 100 more years and humanity doesn't die. Yeah. What can I say? I guess I'm an optimist.
Precise specifications. How will they then interact with real women who have the inconvenience of having their own idiosyncrasies and free will?
The way I see this, there are 3 options. 1, they won't interact with women. They'll become MGTOW Red Pill because it makes logical sense. And number...
Look, if you want to disengage entirely from one gender for some weird reason, it's a free country. Do what you want. I don't care. But, like, painting it as some sort of a logical, rational position... No, it's not. It's a very emotionally driven decision. You're being irrational. You're being overly emotional and ascribing certain character traits to all women, or all men, if you do feel the same way towards men, that just don't bear out in reality. Seriously, it's like this guy got divorced and then just started hating all women. And I shouldn't say started. He's probably always had a pretty unhealthy relationship with women. But it seems like he's amped it up since he started this YouTube channel.
Number 2, they're smart enough to save all that money for a robot. They know the difference between a woman and a robot. Just saying. Number 3, and I know this is a long shot.
Did he just imply that people with money for a sex robot are smart because people with money are smart? I present to you Donald Trump as an example. No, there are plenty of dumb people with money. Look at Tate from the YouTube channel Tate Speech. He's a blithering idiot. He's an aggressive blithering idiot, and yet has lots of money. Lots of dumb people have money.
You might have to flip your script and become a decent
And lots
person
of smart people are poor.
and a woman that men want to talk to. And that means you can't be an entitled, selfish hero.
Shut the fuck up!
And that automatically cuts the tail off the feminist, so just pack it in now. You might as well go buy your crazy cat lady starter kit and a sex robot. Screen 5. Listen, I understand that
Oh god, he has a friend who comes and films this with him? Yikes.
reality that's coming is pissing you all off, but I don't care. Women and feminists have been holding men to a completely different standard, and that era is coming to an end. And if you don't like it, catch yourself a ride with a wambulance, go home, cry me a fucking river, build a bridge, and get the fuck over it.
In a society where the deck is increasingly stacked against men, the best chance at a life worth living is to escape the cubicle war. Ditch that soul-sucking job and never look back. Pick up corporate land on Amazon.com today and begin training for a better future.
Is this dude's book, or is it Terrence Popp, or is it written by someone else? Jesus Christ. Each year in America, new recruits enter Section 9 to 5, all with the same mission of defending their homes in the suburbs, credit rating, and a lifestyle du jour. Since one needs to keep his castle secure from being repossessed, he must first sign up for a soul-crushing tour of duty in corporate America. Corporate Land is the training facility where you will first learn the basics in how to survive the commuting road warriors, avoid office landmines, live the high life, rank up within your company, and ultimately... Oh, it's like a bullshit self-help book. Yikerinos.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dude spanking dudes with a link of some sort. Oh god, nah. I'll save this for another day, but we're doing... After this video, we're switching to something else. I can't watch 2 of this guy in a row.
If you are used to having sex with ultra-lifelike humanoids whenever and however you want, will you be more likely to expect complete dominance in your relationships with other humans?
That is what's known as a hypothetical question, and I have one for you. When are women gonna stop doing that? Period. Boom, beer me. In the West.
What? What? Like, again, I'm not even necessarily agreeing with her, because I think it's a little bit of a slippery slope argument, which, whatever. But, like, asking, hey, if you have sex with a sex robot regularly who will do whatever you want without the need for consent, will that affect how you view consent within relationships with actual people? Maybe, maybe not. We could probably do some research into how pornography, for instance, has affected people's views of consent. I don't know if it has or hasn't. I have no opinion either way because I don't have any data to base my opinion on. But, like, just making fun of the question is stupid. Right? It's, like, really childish to just make fun of the question in its entirety.
Western world, women have a 3-pronged pitchfork rammed up the ass of every dude. 1, yes means yes laws. Even without those laws, any accusation a woman makes is considered Bible truth. As a dude...
Oh my god. Is he seriously doing this? He's doing RAPE apologist shit right now?
Dude, you're guilty until proven innocent, and then you're still guilty because the accusation sticks for the rest of your goddamn life.
No, that's not how our court system works.
So much for due process, and with that, I'm having me some beer. And number 2, no-fault divorce. This one's my favorite. At any given time, a woman can say, I'm not happy, cut and run, and she will take your resources for the rest of your goddamn life.
Oh my god. Bitching about no-fault divorce. Fuck off. Fuck off. People should be allowed to leave their marriage for whatever reason they want, or for no reason at all. Who cares?
And this is because men are still held to an 18th century...
Is the only movie he's ever seen Dumb and Dumber? That would explain a lot, because every single clip in this has been from Dumb and Dumber.
...standard where they're required to take care and protect their women for life. But women, they get whatever century laws they want. In fact, when they want to be taken care of, they hit you for the 18th century laws. And when they want to leave, hell, they use the 21st century laws. Enough of this goddamn time travel. Great Scott, I'm gonna get me some Space Ghost.
Wow, that's good. Moltar, make a note of that. No.
And number 3, friend of the court, which is no friend of yours. My 35 years in the military, we all referred to that as friend of the cunt, because that's the way it is. Let's face it, you walk into divorce court, you automatically lose. You lose all your shit and watch your kids grow up and fast forward without you being in their lives. Everyone takes a piece of your ass and you get fucked. They claim it's the best interest of the child. And the only interests that they give a shit about are those of the system and then the woman. And both of them stick a straw in your back and drink your motherfucking soul. And that is what we call complete dominance of your relationships over other humans.
Oh no, another Thug Life meme! This is from 2017! That's too late to be doing a Thug Life meme. I know. I may have done them in videos in 2017. It was much too late for that to be funny.
After that, I dropped this mic, but it's really kind of expensive. And violence and technology do not mix.
Young people who have grown up in the age of online porn might consider shaved pubic hair and double penetration to be completely normal.
First of all, the shaving, well, yeah, nobody likes the jungle down there. But the DP...
Do you shave? I have a feeling you don't. Kind of a double standard, don't you think? Don't get me wrong. I trim. It's been a while, but I need to. Because that's something I want, right? But if someone doesn't want to, more power to them. You have the power to do whatever you want with your body. Who cares? Trim, shave, let it all grow out. Who the fuck cares?
Fuck no. You want to see my reaction when I see DP? Wait. Oh.
TMI? Probably TMI. Well, I don't care.
Your scrotum is touching his scrotum. Oh, dick's touching. Ah. I'm just gonna say, for you to do that shit, you gotta be at least 1/3 fucking gay.
I love you, man.
Oh yeah, the person who wrote the article also sounds like a boomer. I'm not disagreeing, but the way this guy is responding is the most immature shit ever.
Oh, okay, you're kissing me.
Similarly, the generation growing up when sex robots are commonplace might see brutally selfish sex as both desirable and achievable.
Because it is. And you don't have to buy a sex robot to fucking do it.
Sex robots exist purely to satisfy their owners.
Kinda like a vibrator, Space Ghost.
Is any sexual relationship healthy if it's only ever about one person's pleasure?
I don't...
If you're masturbating, yes. And that's what a sex doll is. It's complicated masturbation. Oh god, now I'm arguing with both of them at the same time. God.
I don't know, why don't you ask your wife?
Can sex with a robot ever be consensual?
Consent for a doll.
Yes, it is consensual in the same way that using a flashlight is consensual, or whatever. Consent doesn't come into it outside of yourself consenting with yourself, which if you're deciding to do something is de facto consent, right? Objects do not need, as long as you own the object, to give consent, because consent is something that is given between two individuals.
You have completely negated everything in this whole goddamn article with one question. It is a thing. It doesn't have a mind. It has a chip in its head. That's it. It's basically a video game that has a pussy. It's Space Invaders with a vagina. Consent is not
That Rule 34 probably exists.
Not even a goddamn factor here. What the hell's wrong with you? Do you pull those yes means yes laws on your vibrator when you're ramming up your slot B? Probably not. Next thing you know, we're going to see an article in The Guardian called How My Vibrator Raped Me. Wah.
This isn't about robot rights.
Then why are you asking if robots can consent?
It's about the kind of sex that will become normal within human societies if we start having sex with robots.
People are gonna fuck robots. That's reality. It is. This guy's an asshole, but people are gonna fuck robots if we make robots. Human beings, historically, like to fuck things. It's kind of like our thing.
Let's just call a spade here. You're worried about men pouring their resources into a robot instead of you and your vagina.
No. Again, here's what God, I gotta argue with both of them. No. Even though I don't agree with her concerns, don't strawman what her concerns are about. She may legitimately believe what she is saying. I imagine she is. I think she's arguing in good faith. I just think she's wrong. Right?
Child
Very
sex dolls have
strange.
been banned in the UK because of fears they will encourage the desire to abuse among pedophiles rather than simply sate it.
Let me get this straight. You took away a healthy outlet for an unhealthy desire because of feelings? That is really stupid, and I'm going to tell you why. Because
It's the same reason that we that's the same reason that we ban, like, child pornography. Although in fairness, lolly exists, though I find it fucking disgusting. It's not illegal. That is a gray area. I'd have to think about that. Pedophiles using child sex dolls. It's fucking gross. But should it be illegal? I don't know. That's not something I'm gonna deal with. Fuck that
it's
shit.
coming from the same idiotic mindset that says, teach men not to rape. We already teach men not to rape, just like we teach people not to murder and steal. I'm going to tell you a little story, and you might find this interesting. I remember way back in the day in the 80s when the first video games came out. And even in those, you could kill, murder, and steal. Just so you know, killing and murdering aren't the same thing. Because you could kill...
In old video games, there were occasionally also porn games. There was a game for the Atari 2600 called Custer's Revenge, in which you played, presumably, General Custer, and this is in Atari 2600 graphics. You can Google this if you'd like. Naked, in a pair of boots, running across a field that has arrows coming down. You need to dodge them, and at the other end, your goal is a Native American woman tied to a cactus, and if you reach your goal, your character will engage in activities with her, let's say.
People in the line of duty or in self-defense, and that's not cold-blooded murder. And since that time, we have seen a steady decline in all
We'll do a
crime.
cleanse after this. I know this one's been real rough.
I'm not saying one is responsible for the other, but it is an interesting hypothesis. You know who's not going to find that interesting? The parents of a kid who was raped by a pedophile because he didn't get his fucking doll.
I find it somewhat disingenuous to imply that if a pedophile is not allowed to engage in activities with a child's sex doll, that it is therefore the fault of people who banned those sex dolls if he commits a crime upon a child. That's stupid. That's a stupid argument.
Parker is calling for a similar ban on all sex robots.
Parker is an idiot, but his brothers, they make good board games.
But while we might not be able to stop them being imported or manufactured here, we can't stop them from being developed overseas.
Nope, you can't. Sooner or later, if you make it illegal, they're going to sneak them in anyway. Which, in my opinion, is kind of creepy, but I'm just telling you how it is.
Perhaps the most important question to ask is why there is a market for sex robots in the first place.
That's a real good question, and I got a great answer for you.
It's because people like to fuck things. It's historically, again, a thing human beings do.
Simple. Just one word. Perhaps you heard of it. Feminism. Moving on. Listen.
God, no! No! What are you talking about? People have been fucking things since long before first wave feminism was a thing in, like, the 20s. Stop. Stop being such a cringe lord, my goodness.
Listen, when you browbeat these men and tell them their masculinity is toxic, they're gonna pull out and bust it on your face. Why would
This guy's fucking gross.
a man want to be around a woman who thinks that way and blames men for all of her problems?
I just got that old-fashioned romantic feeling where I'd do anything to bone her.
That's a special feeling, Lloyd.
Why do some people find the idea of a partner without autonomy so attractive?
I got
don't
it.
know, woman, but you're a pretty good expert at running your goddamn mouth, and perhaps that answers your question.
Until we have an answer to that,
Already did that. Screen 5.
we'll need to prepare ourselves for the inevitable rise of the sex robots.
I guess they'll take over the world and kill us all. All while covered in stinky clam chowder. I'm sure you know what that is. All right, enough of the article. Now it's time for my personal opinion, and I'm sure you'll find this funny. I'm never going to get one, and you want to know why? $10,000 is a lot of money, and I love guns. Yeah, also, I'm kind of partial to my freedom, and I don't want to drag something that looks like a dead body around my house because I have a SWAT team kicking down my door. Even though I'm never going to buy one of these things, I know hypocrisy when I fucking see it. And what I'm seeing here is sex toys for women, A-OK. For men, demon and bad.
That is some sadistic bullshit.
Oh God, don't use... James Rolfe doesn't deserve to be used in your shitty fucking internet videos. What did he ever do? Jesus.
At the end of the day, let's boil it back down to the root it came from. It's all just glorified masturbation, and who fucking cares? You know what else I care about? Not getting raked through the coals in divorce court. I also care about herpetogonosyphilates. I don't want nothing to do with that. But the feminists, they want to remove all of the healthy alternatives out there, but only for men. You put a gun to my head and ask me—
Again, you're lumping in all feminists with this one particular person who has an aversion to sex dolls. Why are you acting as though all feminists agree with this person? Or as if it's all one homogenous group and there aren't different schools of feminism?
me to choose between a disease-ridden single mother and a sex robot, easy choice right there. And you would think it would be easy for the feminists to make a consistent argument. I have a feeling that I would die of old age before they'll make a consistent argument. We're talking about a group who tries to argue logic with feelings. So instead, check out the links below, Patreon and PayPal, send us a couple bucks.
Gross. So that's it for Chud Math Guy talking about love dolls.